All right. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Mr. That's Mr. Matthews from Nigeria. Nigeria. Hi.
Good evening, everyone.
So the next person we have, good evening. Good evening, sir. So I now our next panel is Wanjiru Minor. Forgive me by the Wanjiru Minor. That is from Kenya. She's representing Kenya. So she's the founder of Just Tech Limited. Just Tech Limited, a youth-centered initiative focused on digital literacy and financial empowerment in Kenya. Our work is targeted at equipping young people from underserved communities with skills they need to succeed in a digital world. Manjuri is a passionate advocate for digital inclusion and a tech consultant who believes in using technology as a tool for empowerment, innovation, and equal opportunity. So, Manjuri, please, if you are here, just turn on your camera and your microphone and say hi to this gorgeous people here. And please, in the comment, just say welcome Wanjiro so that we know that yes, you're ready for her. Hello, Wanjiro, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, good evening. Just say hi
Good
to the
evening,
people.
everyone.
Cool.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you clearly. Awesome. All right, so
Okay.
to the third
My
person we are
name,
going to be
yes,
having. Go on.
okay. Okay. Good evening. My name is Wanjiru Maina. I'm from Kenya, and I'm the founder of a company named Just Tech Limited. And Just Tech Limited focuses on digital and financial literacy. We started a few years ago, almost 2 years now. And our aim is to empower people from all areas with the necessary digital and financial literacy skills to be able to stand on their own. We also have programs curated for children aged 10 to 18 years old, and it focuses on digital and financial literacy. Our two flagship programs are mainly Tech for Tomorrow and Smart Money Academy. Tech for Tomorrow basically focuses on everything digital literacy, so cybersecurity, AI innovation, and AI prompting, productivity tools, and also, what have I forgotten? Coding. When it comes to Smart Money Academy is everything to do with financial literacy, and we focus on saving, budgeting, and entrepreneurial thinking. I'm happy to be here, and I hope to connect, learn, and engage with everyone in this platform.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wanjiro. Okay, to the third person. Thank you so much. Monica Alip, that she's joining us from Uganda. She's representing Uganda. So Monica is a digital programming expert with a strong background in technology for development and humanitarian solutions. Our work focuses on digital literacy, innovation management, financial inclusion, and integrating tech in agriculture. She brings practical insights. Please confirm if anybody can still hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can anyone? Awesome. So she brings practical insights from working in cross-functional teams and implementing solutions in real-world development contents across Uganda and beyond. Look at the profile of the people we are bringing to you tonight. You know, it's great and wonderful people. So hi, Monica. Can you hear me? Just say hi to the people. Monica, are you here? Can you hear me? Monica?
Yes, I can hear.
Okay.
Yep.
Why,
Hear me?
Monica? Okay, hi, good evening. I can hear you now.
Thank you.
Awesome. So I'm happy to have you guys here. I'm happy to have you, sir. I'm happy to have you, ma. I'm happy to have you, mom. And so aside from the questions I'm going to be asking you, so the audience, people that are listening, can also have their question in the comments, and I can pick randomly from the questions in the comments to also ask you so that you can buttress and put more lights on that topic. So please, that's true. Please let's say welcome Monica in the chat. So I know you're still here with me. So EdTech is a wonderful part of what we have in this current world. And like Dr. Ireti said, we can't do without it at the moment. So that makes me to start my first question from Mr. Mattis. From his bio, we can see he has done a whole lot in the EdTech space. So I want to get started with Mr. Mattis. Mr. Mattis, are you there with me? Can you hear me? Mr. Mattis, can you hear me? So your question, the first question I want to ask you is, why is the EdTech sector important to you? Why? Like the way you talk about EdTech, the way you're so passionate about it. So why is that important to you? And why are you so passionate about this sector? Why are you so passionate about EdTech? Why is it this important to you?
Okay. In one word, children are the future of tomorrow. I was once a child, and if you can read and write, thank your teacher. Early childhood, that is K to 12 level, are the most critical years of learning. I hope each and everyone can hear me.
Yes, sir, we can hear you clearly.
Now, kids learn how to read, write, solve basic arithmetic, explore the digital space, discover who they are, discover their interests. That's how important early childhood could be. But like Mr. Ashiwaku said the other time, that the future is here. The future is here. And for children to be able to participate in their future, they will need quality basic education, sound foundational literacy and numeracy skills, 21st century tech skills, entrepreneurship, creativity, innovation. So how do we solve this? In Africa, we are I don't want to say we are in a fix in terms of the quality of the teachers and the quantity of the teachers. I was talking to the organizers before the commencement of this program that in Nigeria, we have 200,000 to 300,000 teachers deficits. Yes, you can fact check. Nigeria alone, we have 200,000 to 300,000 teachers deficits. Now, if we are to pay one teacher $100, which is about 160,000, which is not even enough to take care of a teacher and his family. An average teacher in UK in the UK earn about £4,000. Even by the time he or she is done with his taxes, he or she has £2,000 to take home. So teaching job is a good job in the West, but here in Nigeria, even if we are to pay teachers $100, and I can tell you for free that over 50% of the teachers are not even earning up to $100 a month. So even if we are to pay teachers $100, 300,000 teachers will earn $30 million a month. And by the time you multiply that by 12, you are going to be having well over $30 million a month. You are going to be having over $360 million to pay new teachers at $100 per teacher per month for 12 months. You need over 4.1 trillion naira just to pay teachers. Last year, 2024, Nigeria's income, gross income is 20 trillion naira. So if we are to pay teachers, those primary and secondary school teachers alone, we are going to be paying 4 trillion, which is about 4/20. About 20% of the total budget. That's 20% of the total budget of the country will be going just to pay new teachers. I'm not talking of the teachers in that are already in the workforce. I'm talking of new teachers, 300,000 new teachers. We need 4.1 trillion, which is 20% of our national income to pay teachers. I'm not talking of teachers in the university. I'm not talking of doctors. I'm not talking of infrastructure. I'm not talking of anything. 20% of our national income will go to paying new teachers. So there are no two ways we are going to do this than to go to leverage technology. In a situation where if one pastor can stream his program to 10 million Nigerians, then one teacher should be able to also stream quality basic education to 10 million students simultaneously. And that's the reason why I took education technology much seriously. I've been in it for the past 23 years, and I'm working. Thank you so much.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Look at that. Somebody said in the comment section that some teachers are still collecting 30,000 naira. 30,000 naira is a whole lot. Some teachers are still collecting 15,000 naira at this age and time. So yeah, we really need that
someone
development.
collecting 30,000 naira, that's just about $20. $20.
That's just it. And there are some that are still collecting below that. So over to you, one.
That's a recipe for poverty.
Over to you, Wanjiru. Wanjiru, are you here with me? So I'm going to be asking you the same question. Why are you with what you've done with technology so far in the EdTech space? So I want to ask you the question as well. Why is EdTech so important to you, and why are you so passionate about this industry, EdTech?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I'm just a young girl. I'm not that old to start us with. EdTech matters to me because it's more than just technology. It's a lifeline. Growing up in Kenya, I saw how the lack of access to digital tools and financial knowledge could dim the dreams of the bright, ambitious young people. And for me, EdTech is a bridge between where someone is and where they could be. It levels the playing field and gives undeserved communities a fighting chance. I'm passionate about it because it turns young people into creators, not just consumers of solutions. It democratizes learning, fuels innovation, and unlocks economic freedom through EdTech. And I see a future where a child's zip code doesn't determine where their destiny is. So that's the reason as to why I'm passionate about it and why EdTech is important to me.
Awesome, awesome. That reminds me of a story, but I think I'm going to share that story after Monica has answered her own question. Same thing to you, Monica. I'm going to share that story, so just stay with me. I'm going to share that story. Monica, I'm going to be asking you that same question. Why is EdTech sector so important to you, and why are you passionate about this sector? Why are you so passionate about this sector, Monica?
Thank you so much, Mo. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Thank you. So overall, I believe both formal and informal education are very vital, both for a person's growth or even as society's growth. And what excites me most about the EdTech sector is how it enhances the delivery and accessibility of education through technology. It has the potential to open up new opportunities through personalized learning, engagement, and even fostering collaboration, which could be easily limited by traditional settings. I'm also passionate about the power that it has in breaking barriers, reaching underserved communities, and making learning a bit more inclusive and effective in every way possible. So yeah, I find it very harmonious compared to the traditional way of delivering education. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Monica. Please, when you want to speak, if you don't have any internet issue, please turn on your camera. It makes the conversation much more interesting, right? So I said I was going to share a story. Okay, I'm going to share a story. That story is from what Wanjuri just said, and I just want to buttress that point with my personal story. When I was growing up, I wonder why I lived in a community where the younger ones, once they are back from the service, they do a lot of stress looking for a job. I see a lot of them carrying their these files. There's a particular file they use here in Nigeria that you keep all your credentials, you go back and forth, go to different offices looking for a job. And I was just wondering that is there nothing that can be done about doing something different that can make these people just earn one way or the other than this kind of strength they are going through. Then in the time that some particular students at school or still in secondary school, then they taught us about, they introduced us to digital literacy, social media management, a lot of cyber security, all those skills that you can imagine. They introduced us to all of those skills, and it was now interesting. It was really, really interesting. Like, oh, so people can actually do this and earn money. Why are we having these people stress over looking for what is not there? Do you understand? So I started thinking of how can we help our students to know that you don't have to wait till you finish schooling before you can actually get something doing for yourself, leveraging technology in a positive way. How can we do this? I took the training seriously back then, and fortunately, they put us to training, and some schools employed us to start managing their school pages. Then they were paying us like 3,000 naira in a month and like that. So that really built this passion inside of me. That made me to start a movement. Uh, and what we do in that movement is we now go to secondary schools to go and teach them a skill, that there is power in knowing that there's something you can do with technology regardless of where you come from, and you can make a living from it. So that's what Anjuri said inspired me to share the story. All right, so I'm going back to you, Mr. Mattis. So I would like to hear about your story, like your journey and impactful activities, how it has been from the beginning in EdTech. So, the impactful activities you've been able to do so far in the EdTech space and the challenges you might have faced, how you were able to sort these challenges. So, how it has been from the beginning in the EdTech space, how you were able to solve the challenges you faced, and how you were able to achieve this much in the EdTech space, and how it can help the audience that are listening.
Okay, thank you very much. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
So I will say I forayed into the education space some 31 years ago. I was then a university undergraduate. Um, then there was a political upheaval in Nigeria. There was an election that was annulled. We call it June 12 election. That was June 12, 1993. So the election was annulled, and it generated a lot of worry in Nigeria that universities has to be shut down for 18 good months. All the universities in Nigeria shut down for 18 good months. So during that time, I was just like Tom Idle, and my dad was a friend. One of my dad's friends, a reverend in one Salvation Army secondary school, now said I could just come to the school to come and teach. At least it was initially like pass away the time instead of just staying at home doing nothing, watching football. Nigeria is playing match today, match tomorrow, analyzing football all around. So I started teaching. And one thing that happened during that year, I was teaching physics, chemistry, biology, maths, and it happened that was the year that yes, I was teaching the sciences in that school. It was SS1, SS2, SS3. That's level 9, level 10, 11, 12. and they are writing their WAEC, that's their West Africa examination. That's like equivalent of General Certificate of Education. They are writing it that year. So it happened that the year I taught physics, chemistry, biology, maths, they have the IE. That was the year the school had the best results that in the whole city of Ilefe, then in Osun State, Nigeria. And I got awards. I was just doing my thing, and I was just enjoying doing my thing. So the principal and the school board have to now call on me that I should come as a part-time teacher when the university resumed. That was the Obafemi University in Ilefe in Osun State, Nigeria. So I was a part-time teacher in the school, and throughout my academics, the school was funding my education, was funding my academics at that particular point in time while I was in the university. And so as maybe second year or so, I stopped collecting student stipends from my parents because the school was funding my education. I was teaching there in my part-time. And when I finished, when I graduated from the university, fate has it, I was transferred, I was to serve 1 year service, 1 year mandatory service in Nigeria. I was to serve, and I was placed at my primary place of assignment was at the University of Calabar, where I was also thrown into the class to go and start teaching. So at the University of Calabar, I got retained after my 1 year mandatory service, and I taught at the University of Calabar before I now moved to the University of Badon. Immediately I finished University of Badon again, I have to go and teach at the Federal Polytechnic EdTech in Osun State. Then I left the Federal Polytechnic to come back to Lagos. My first job was to teach at Mason College, Festac Town, where I was teaching A-level physics, chemistry, biology again, basic sciences, advanced level sciences. Then after then it was at that college, I was teaching secondary, primary and secondary. And that year, they also had the best results in their A-levels as well as in their O-levels. And I have to know that, okay, maybe this is what God really called me for. I got the inspiration then to start a television program. So I started telemaths on NTA 2 Channel 5, that was 2003. And later it was syndicated across the whole country. And I became almost an instant celebrity teacher, teaching mathematics on NTA network in Nigeria. And then I learned at that particular point in time, because I learned funding. Funding became an issue. Even as I was an instant celebrity teacher on television, I could not fund my basic lifestyle. And the next thing I have to do is to go and get a job in the bank that will fund my life. The banking job, I couldn't collaborate. It didn't work with education technology, because teaching on television was education technology. Banking job will not allow me to do that. Then after I left the banking job, I started with education technology again. Times have changed. I need to develop a website after over a decade in the banking industry. And that website has come. We now have apps. We now have all these things. So I now need to integrate the technology, or the front end, the back end, the middle end, the cloud. Now we now have to move education from the classroom to the cloud. And that's exactly what I'm currently doing. Whilst I'm still on television, we are back on Lagos television now. Lagos has about 24 million people, and then we are the only education program running on Lagos television in Nigeria. We are moving it to all the 36 states of the country, a country with over 240 million people, only one education television program. And that's what we're doing. And that's Screen Class. Screen Class is trying to solve the major problem in the education space in Nigeria, and we'll be able to do our research well to discover that apart from dilapidated infrastructure, apart from teachers' deficit, apart from the poor funding of education, one major problem we have in education in Nigeria is the learning gap. The learning gap, not only in the obsolete curriculum, the learning gap that will occur from stage to stage, from class to class, as students promote. I'll give you an example. And majority of us probably has passed through it. We used form during our time. While I was in Form 4 to be promoted to Form 5, we had our physics teacher to another school. And it took the local government authority 2 good times before they could give us a physics teacher. Thank God for people like Abbott, Ababio, and Nekon and Parker, that we have to read that book to be able to pass our physics. But majority of my mates failed physics because we had learning gap. That particular 2 months, 2 semesters, 2 terms that the teachers are not there, there are issues, and then by the time you have a new teacher is coming, you have the gap that the gap that the teacher that left had created, we could not always meet. And it happens especially in STEM sciences, STEM studies, where you have a teacher that is not available, a teacher that is not good on his job. There is no mechanism through which learning gap for children can be closed. Children learn at different, the assimilation level for children, for kids is different. Even for each and every one of us, the assimilation level is different. Now, if you miss anything in this presentation, you can always go back to the video. But if you miss anything in the traditional conventional school in Nigeria, forget about it. So that's why we are creating a solution called Screen Class, where even if you miss the solution, if you miss what you have been taught in class, or if you have issues with assimilation, you can always go back to it in animated educational explainer video on Screen Class. You can check screenclass.com, and that has animated educational explainer videos where an African child would be able to fix his learning gap, learn, understand, play, replay, learn at his own pace, at his own time, and at his own will. So trying to fix this gap has been what I've been doing over this time, and it's been paying off. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dad. That was an inspiring journey. So starting from just come and help us and teach these people, to becoming the star teacher, to becoming award-winning teacher, to getting the funds and everything. That was an inspiring journey, sir, Mr. Martins. So over to you, Wanjiru. So I'm going to be asking you the same question. How has been your journey in the EdTech space? How did you get started where you are right now? The challenges, how you were able to overcome, and lessons for we that are listening to you. Wanjiru, are you still here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm asking, what's the last question?
The last question I just asked is, we'd love to hear about your journey in the EdTech space, how you got started, where you are currently, the challenges you faced, and how you were able to overcome these challenges, and lessons for us that we are listening to you.
Okay. My journey started 2 years ago. I identified a gap in the community. There was a digital and a financial literacy gap, and it was impacting negatively the lives of the individuals around me. And so I decided to start JustTech Limited. At first, I didn't even have the company's name. I didn't know what I'm going to do, but I just knew whatever I wanted to do is something to do with digital and financial literacy. So I just took my time. I started doing research. After doing research, I decided I need to start making programs specifically for those 2 challenges. And after careful consultation, analyzation, I came up with 2 programs, namely Tech for Tomorrow and Smart Man Academy, which I had already talked about earlier. And after coming up with the programs, I needed to curate them to fit the need of the community. So I needed to understand, if I'm dealing with kids or children from the age of 10 to 18 years, I need to make a program that will fit a 10-year-old and a program that will fit an 18-year-old, meaning I cannot teach someone, an 18-year-old kid, a program that is meant for a 10-year-old kid. So that's how I started. Then after curating the programs, I decided to start go pitching. So I designed a proposal on Canva. At first, I didn't even know how to use Canva. So I went and learned how to use Canva. After learning how to use Canva, I drafted a whole proposal, inserted pictures. I almost failed like 3 times because I was also consulting with other people. So the first proposal, no, it's too much wording. The second proposal, not attractive. The third one, no, repeat everything. That's how I started. So after 3 times of failing, I now made a very good proposal. And after that, I started printing them. After printing them, I was going to schools physically, like I will set a date. Let me say like 2 weeks or a month or a whole month. I'm going to this county, I'm going to this region, I'm going to these specific schools, I'm going to pitch this product. And after that, I will follow up with the directors and also the teachers and also the CBOs and also the ministries of the Ministry of Education in Kenya to get approvals to also make time for my program for the schools. And that's how I started. That's how my journey has been. Lessons that I've so far learned is to be resilient, be courageous, be ready to be told so many no's and not one, so many no's, so many no's. And they won't even give you a reason, but they just tell you, no, we don't want your program. No, it doesn't fit our, no, we don't want it. Just like that, be ready for it. But that should not stop you from moving forward. That's how big companies are created, and that's how big projects last. Another thing is to also connect, learn. Don't be afraid to, let me use this word, shoot your shot to get things, because closed mouths do not get fed. So you need to put yourself out there, believe in yourself. And in as much as maybe when you're starting, you may not believe in your project and you feel like the project has a lot of loopholes, you just believe in yourself. We learn on the job. It's a project. So if it's a project, it means you're adding continuous knowledge as the project progresses. So that's my lesson so far. On the challenges, one is infrastructure deficit. Here in Kenya, there's lack accessing things like electricity, the technological gadgets, e.g. computers, mobile phones, the internet. Many societies are not in a financial stable position to access these things, and that's one of the infrastructure deficits I'm facing. Another one is the gender digital divide. So this comes when mainly there is a lot of social, I'm trying to look for the right word. There's a lot of social conditioning for the women and girls in the society. Most of them are conditioned to stay at home, take care of the families, and not advance in terms of education, in terms of digital access and everything. This has been a very big challenge, and how we solve these problems is we integrate mentors and also alumni from those specific communities to come and talk to the parents and even the children themselves to erase this barbaric and very barbaric belief of women and girls are just supposed to be at stay-at-home people and not improve on their education so that to be able to depend on themselves. Yes. So right now we are currently.
Awesome.
I'm not done. Let me finish. Okay. We are currently working on this project. It's an only girl bootcamp. So in this only girl bootcamp, we are creating a very small community hub for a specific community in Kenya, in the northeastern region, where it's a very isolated region in terms of digital access and also education. And we are creating a program, a 3 to 6 months program. And once maybe we are done, and we'll show you the journey and the impact of the program. Yes.
Okay, awesome. That's an inspiring journey, and awesome. I love the fact that you said it's a project. So even when you fail, you have to just pick it up, learn your lessons and keep moving. Not like you just sit after what happened and you're like, it's not working. And I love the fact that even despite the fact that Canva was stressful for you, you went the first time, the second time, the third time, resilience. That's very, very great. So over to you, Monica. I'm still going to be asking that same question before I go into your individual questions. Uh, yeah, the question is, I want to hear about your journey. How did you get started? Your impact activities right now, the challenges, and how you were able to overcome these challenges, and probably some lessons you want us to pick from there.
Thank you very much, Mo. It's been wonderful hearing what everyone else is presenting in regards to their journey. So mine has been an interesting one. It's been mostly aligned with the NGOs. I've had an opportunity to work with several NGOs in the global space and in the national space. And most of these NGOs are focusing on building the capacity of their beneficiaries across areas of livelihoods, education, and just overall protection. So one of the most impactful and interesting projects I worked on in 2018 was a gamified learning experience. I liked what Babajide was showing because I liked the gamified version of EdTech. So this gamified learning experience aimed at it was purposely developed for the children who are forced to flee conflict. In Uganda, we host several of those, and then this was like an accelerated education program. So the goal was to try and level them up with the Ugandan learners who might have already reached a certain level and then they've not had a chance because of the conflict in their areas. So that was an initiative that really stood out to me because of the content. First of all, it was aligned to Ugandans' education curriculum, so it made it easy for them to eventually integrate into the formal education structure that Uganda had ongoing at that time. And then additionally, I've also contributed to financial literacy programs where we've used instructional technology to deliver learning modules on village savings and loans associations. These are called VSLAs. I don't know if they're quite popular in Nigeria, but these are financial saving strategies that we have a lot here in our rural bits of Uganda to try and enhance the livelihoods of people in the remote sectors. So throughout my journey, I've encountered several challenges, and in some of these cases, it could be the limited resources or the infrastructure, and then the digital literacy gaps and barriers. However, I found that even in incidents when the resources were actually available, there was still a very big issue with mindset change when it comes to how people will eventually adapt to any forms of technology that are out there for us to make use of. So you and me and everyone else on this call will admit that technology can get very overwhelming, and it's fair enough to be reasonable while, dishing out new emerging trends also, and just make sure you try to roll out very gradually and then pay attention to context when you're even scaling. There's technology strategies that we have out there. So yeah, I feel like the biggest challenge has been in the mindset change because of the fear that comes with actually embracing new forms of technology. And yeah, if you factor that in, then you'll be able to build a user's confidence, and then it will also foster very easy adaptation to these new forms of technology. Thank you.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask one more question. Just one more question to you, Monica, and you just need to use like about 1 minute max to answer this question. So,
Sure.
it's going to be from like, the experience you shared already. So I'm going to read from my system. I'm going to read from my system. So what would an ideal ecosystem of partnership between NGOs, government, and innovator look like to sustain or scale EdTech in Africa from your own point of view?
Okay, I think from my own point of view, first of all, this would, for all the three stakeholders that you've mentioned to come out with something very concrete, would need to collaborate around context-specific needs across all the different regions that make up Africa. So starting from a place where we are actually understanding and ensuring that there is an equity-sensitive approach. Equity-sensitive, we are meeting everyone at the level where they are, at at whatever digital transformation strategy we are now trying to implement. So in such an ecosystem, NGOs would contribute their deep knowledge of local context and then the community engagement, and then they will play a key role in co-designing these EdTech solutions. While the governments, because the NGOs are already really grassroots level, they know the community cultures and all those things. So they would be the custodians of that kind of information in this particular ecosystem. And then the government would be responsible for creating an enabling environment, designing the favorable policies that are actually not going to chase away these very creative innovators and then the young people in Africa who actually have all these skill sets to come up with these products. So they'll have to come up with very favorable policies and also invest in the core infrastructure that we need, the internet itself, the electricity, and even if where possible, they can try to come up with some strategy which makes the hardware products that we actually use to enhance digital transformations at least a bit more affordable for the people within Africa. And then the innovators themselves would bring on their creativity and then the technical expertise to develop the user-centered tools. So when these three actors work together and grounded in the actual local realities here on Africa, yeah, grounded into the local actual realities of Africa, it would then be enough for the commitment and then for us to agree on our shared goals to make EdTech actually a very powerful vehicle for inclusive and scalable, sustainable education. Yeah, in a transformative way across the entire continent. So yeah, I feel like it needs everyone to just be a part of whatever collaborative approach we decide to embark on. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so, so much. I love the fact that you had to break down the activity, what the government body should do, and what the other bodies. Thank you so much. So over to you, Wanjiru. I'd like to ask that in your opinion, I don't know, Wanjiru, are you still here with me?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Awesome, awesome. In your opinion, what's one low cost, high impact way to close the digital divide? Was one low cost, but that we have a very high impact rate to close the digital divide continent wide? Like what in your opinion, what's that one low cost? If you look at this Africa country, one of our major challenges is the finance to actually fund these ideas. So what's that one low cost, but that is going to have a very high impact and a way to close the digital divide continent-wide?
Okay, I can hear you. I'm just having a problem here with my internet. That is what I was checking. Hello?
Hi, okay, so I should repeat the question right now,
No,
right?
I can hear. It's okay. It's okay. One way. You can hear me? Okay. I believe one way, which is a low-cost method, is including blended learning, combining in-person and hand-on workshops with the real-life application, and also using some of the integrated apps and websites for most of these communities who are not able to access these things. So I think when we do this, in terms of everything being done online, it's accessible for everyone, as there's no other logistics that need to be added in terms of moving around, eating and everything, all these low costs or not miscellaneous budgets that may not be seen when you're doing these things physically, when you are having a face-to-face engagement. So having platforms, curated platforms for everyone to access at their own perfect timing will be a very good initiative. And that will be a very low cost way of handling this whole thing.
That's true. When everybody can do things in a way that, if you're unable to go physically, you still have access over the screen. That brings me to Mr. Martin. So, Mr. Martins, are you here with me? In your own view, I'm still going to ask one more general question that we are all going to answer. But here to Mr. Mantis now. In your view, what policy or policy reform are most urgent if we are to truly bridge the digital divide in Africa's education sector, starting from here in Nigeria?
Yeah, it's so easy, very easy. But it's just the solution is just plain in sight. If data, bandwidth, telcos can get to your village, then digital education should get to your village. So we just have to, at the policy level, leverage digital education with data penetration. Let me explain. You have the telco base station in almost every communities in Nigeria. So with that, email, every other thing can get, so you can send email, you can make digital calls from any other part of the country. EdTech solutions should leverage on that. And from the policy level, like I was telling the other time, during coronavirus, I championed in Nigeria the free 500 megabytes of data for every EdTech website in Nigeria. I championed it with the Nigerian Nigerian NCC, Nigeria Communication Commission, and it was approved. So if you come on my website, a particular period of time, or any other education website approved, your users are going to be having 500 megabytes of data free for that particular day. If they come tomorrow to learn, they are 500 megabytes free because meant collect education tax. So where is that money going to? So you can't just come and tax education. Company income tax for education today in Nigeria is 30%, while lottery is 7%. Is that not? If that not is madness, then what's madness? If you are running an education infrastructure, you are building a private school. The bank is borrowing you money at 30% per annum. So when are you going to break even? So there are policy issues that are needed to be sorted out at the government level, if any government is really serious about educating its youth. Because you can't be charging people 30%. Education technology company in Nigeria today, I'm a stakeholder in this country. Education technology in Nigeria is being charged 30% company income tax. You can't do that. And lottery is being charged 7% tax. Lottery. What is the importance of lottery to the country? In fact, some education should be at the level of agriculture, because if you want to know the future where any country is heading towards, just check the education the youth are receiving. In a country where over 50% of students drop out by year 9, in a country where last year, 2024, over 2 million people wrote JAMB to enter Nigerian universities, 76% failed. They scored less than 200. And then companies that are trying to solve this problem, you are charging them 30% education tax. If that is not madness, then what's madness? So at the level of the government, we're trying our best. We're talking to them. We're talking to the ministries of education. We are talking to the ambassadors and the lawmakers to be able to look at, especially the level of tax and the taxes for education companies, as well as interest rate from the financial institution for education companies. So those things are key if we really need to move forward. And it has to be Africa-wide. If you are running an education company, we have to drive it that education companies, schools should not be paying company income tax as high as 30%. It's madness. So other than that, if you can be on this Zoom meeting, that means your country has bandwidth. If telco companies can penetrate to every village and data is needed for digital education, that data for digital education is either subsidized or zeroized. We've done it in Nigeria. We have zeroized data for digital education. Unfortunately, some unscrupulous people went ahead to develop VPN that could make them get education data and use it for Facebook and social media, other OTT softwares.
Imagine.
So what we did was now to get back to the government, and then the government was able to approve 70% data discount for education technology solutions. And that has been approved. 70% data discount for education technology solutions has been approved in Nigeria. So people in Kenya, people in Uganda, you have to talk to the people, regulating the bandwidth, we call it data in Nigeria, so that there will be education data. If Nigeria can get 70% of the data discount for education platforms, it could be zeroized in other African countries, and we are using as the Nigerian model, which I championed and worked. If you can get a system whereby we can, even if it's 2% or 4 or 10%, so that we can have up to 90% data discount for education platform, and it will just make sure that it doesn't allow these unscrupulous people to develop VPN that will collect education data and use it on other OTT. So it's a major force that we need to synergize. We need to work together and see what is working in Uganda, what is working in Nigeria, what is working here, and all of us will be able to put it together and see what can work for an African child. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martins. That's just, let's see how we can come together. And that's one of the purpose of this community. Let's see how we can come together and make this thing work in Uganda, in Kenya, in Ghana, in all of those countries, and here in Nigeria, what is working here and how can we implement it? And that's something to do. So that's going to take me to two things. First off, I'm going to be taking a quick vote. Our community. So we the team are kind of thinking within ourselves. I still have like 5 to 6 questions here that we've not answered, but we cannot answer it again here on the call. The time, because we've the time. So but we want to discuss these questions in the community. So we are looking at the best one that is going to be convenient for everyone, regardless of where you are, Uganda, Kenya, Ghana, wherever you are listening from. So we wanted to pick Telegram or WhatsApp. Telegram or WhatsApp. So let me just see in the chat the one you're going to prefer for us to add you in, for us to continue this conversation, for us to answer these questions together, form collaborations. What can we do together? Oh, we already see Babajide. I already see that Monica loves Babajide. How we can, synergize and make these things work together. So just drop it in this comment section, chat section, what you prefer, either the Telegram or the WhatsApp, anyone that is going to work for you, so that we can, okay, I can see Telegram, I can see WhatsApp, the one with the highest vote, the one with the highest vote means. So while we are trying to take this vote, there's this question. We're not going to answer it now. We're just going to ask us now, and we are going to answer it in that community. Okay, now that we are advocating for bringing in technology, bringing in all of those things, how exactly can we do it that we do not lose touch the human part of learning experience? Nobody is answering that question. It's going to be answered in the community. Okay, I can see about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 WhatsApp already, and I can only see 3 Telegram. Okay. We are looking at this information. Remember that the one with the highest votes wins. The one with the highest. We need to continue this conversation. We need to come up with a movement together. We need to make it work together. Okay, we need to make it work together. Then to the second thing we are going to be doing after we might have opened that community is, yes, this is a community we are starting here. We're going to be needing extra hands, volunteers such as media advocacy, social media practitioners, and all of that stuff. If in any way you're looking at how you can be of support to this community that is looking at starting, you can please reach out to us via the mail. One of the admins is going to put the mail in the chat. So either for any partnership form, any collaboration proposal, you want to volunteer to support this movement, you want to, maybe have some points, some things to share with this community lead, please, you're going to be dropping it to the email. One of the admins are going to be dropping the email. They're going to be dropping the email in the comments for you to send yes, for you to send whatever it is you want to share with us, for you to put it there. So one of the most important reasons for you to be in that community is collaboration and partnership. Aside from collaboration and partnership, you're going to, for those that are already working on one project or the other, you're going to have a community of people that would promote, and it's going to be like a stage for you to show what you're doing. Then you're now going to have a community of people that is going to support that which you're working on. Because that sounds really interesting. And beyond that, it's going to be a form of, connection and growth, learning from what Mr. Martins knows, learning from what Monica just shared, learning from what our learning from what she just shared, and learning from what everybody has said. There's going to be what I'm good at, what the other person is better at. You're going to just turn this knowledge together, and we're going to be able to learn. So I'm just going to take one question from the general chat. I can see that we are having WhatsApp win, but then somebody is saying, so we're going to just have to decide from our end, but thank you for voting. One last question from the participants. If you have a question, that's just going to be the one last question we're going to be treating before I call Dr. Iriti to just, buttress the points that I've shared regarding the community, probably having to drop one or two things to support what the panelists have said, and how we're going to move forward from here. Do I have one more question? Okay, I don't have any one more question. I don't have. Okay. Since we don't have any one more question, I'm going to just once you have registered. Okay, yes. Let me just bring up Dr. Rita from here before I call it a day. I hope you have enjoyed this conversation so far. If you've enjoyed it, just drop something in the comments while Dr. Rita comes in, address the points, and just a recap of one or two things and what we should do next from here. Dr. Rita, please can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you very much, Miracle. Thank you so much for a job well done. And we appreciate 10 Minor, Monica Ali, and Mr. Martins Adiko K2, and Mr. Bawajide Shewoku. I hope I got it right. And also Ari Kolakunle. and all our amazing participants. Thank you very much for this wonderful event. We appreciate you all. I know we still have some questions for our guests as our speakers, but we know because of time, we want to see how we can keep this engagement maximum 2 hours. So that's why we had to get to this point. But my own desire is that, and I also feel that I'm speaking the minds of every other participant, we'll still have another community, another engagement to still probably bring up our speakers for today to probably shed more light to some of the remaining questions. That will be later. So that means our subsequent event, they'll probably have to come on board to share 1 or 2 experiences that some of these questions that we're not able to get the answers from them. We'll be able to do that during the next engagement. So as we said, once you are registered, please expect an email from us, a follow-up email on how you can be part of this wonderful community. This is more than us. It's more than Realize Africa. It's about you. It's about me. It's about building the system that we need in Africa. So that's why we all need you on board. We can't do it alone. We all need your support. And we should know from what has been said, even from our speakers, Africa needs to rise up. We need to rise up. We need to come up. We need to address some of these gaps so that when it comes to education, we should be number 1 globally. Our people travel out of the country, travel out of the continent. They do well outside the country with technology. Why can't we also create that same system, even for us within Africa, to be able to see how we can, build a system whereby our young people, even in disadvantaged communities, can also use some of these things, and they will thrive, because that is just the thing. Give them an opportunity, they will try. So please make sure you get in touch with us. Please follow up. If you don't hear from us, send an email to us. We have the email has been dropped in the chat box, event@rgnconnect.com. For the community, we also check what we have chosen. Is WhatsApp, is Telegram. So what we might also do is that we'll have the highest number, will be able to build that community. And for those who have the options for any other platform, we might also create something for them. So, but the major thing is that, because when we are talking about technology, it should be all inclusive. Nobody should be left out. So we don't want anybody to be left out of this engagement. So thank you very much once again. And please watch out for us. The virtual event we did the last time, we'll also share the outcome. We have wonderful recommendations and some policy recommendations that can work across Africa. We're going to share these reports with also our team of participants and everybody. So just watch. And also what we are discussed today, also we are going to work on that and share some of these things with you. So thank you very much. I'm so happy, I'm delighted. So please, let's keep working, let's keep engaging, let's build a better Africa, an Africa that will be a pride of anybody, anywhere you hold your African passport. You say, yes, this is an Africa that believes so much in technology. So let's work together. We need you. So please, let's work together and don't leave us, and let's see how we can build that thing. So thank you very much, Miracle. Thank you for this wonderful engagement. So see you very soon, and just watch out for us, and please, let's keep spreading our message. And if you have any, and also to add to, if you have any suggestion for our community, we are not doing it alone, it's all inclusive. So if you have any suggestion, an idea, you feel, okay, this can work, where I am in my own country, in my own community, please feel free to also drop a mail. Just send an email to us. Oh, this is what I feel that we can do. You can come to my community, you can come to my country, you can come to my environment to see how we can develop this. So please feel free. We are not rigid when it comes to development. We are open to everyone. So thank you. So see you again very soon during our next virtual event, probably very soon before the end of the month or early next month. Watch out for it. And again, also on Twitter too. Watch out for our Twitter space. That's another platform we are also going to use for those who like Twitter. Watch out for our Twitter space for us to come and talk. And for those who are not able to showcase their project today, that platform will give you that opportunity. Yeah, cheers.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for staying from the beginning of the event to this very point. we are grateful. And so everyone, remember that we still have more to discuss, we still have more to implement, we have more to do together. And how we can do this is by being in that community and staying committed to the community vision. So that is why when we send you a follow-up email regarding what we should do next, please do not ignore. Let's get it done as soon as we can. So that will be all from me. Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope to see you again in our next one. And for questions to the chat, we're gonna, respond to that in the community as well. And for people that want to reach out to some of the presenters, like Babajide and the likes, they already drop their information there. So feel free to explore, make your research, and do what works. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll reach out to you via your email very soon. Thank you.